My name is Marsha Skrypuch, and I'm at Jasper Internment Camp. And this is where my grandfather, George Forchuk, was interned. My grandfather died in 1967. He would talk about having been put in prison by Canada for something that he hadn't done. But we didn't really anticipate that this was what he meant by a prison. The secret that he had his entire life is no longer a secret. Everybody is acknowledging what happened to him and 8,000 other people. This is our history, and it was a piece of history that had been hidden for so long. It's important for the people who come and walk their dogs and ride their bicycles to realize that they wouldn't have this place here if it wasn't for someone who was forced to clear the land. There was a mandate to set up parks across the country. And so when they saw someone like my grandfather, they just decided that he was a good prospect and he was the wrong nationality, so let's take him in. They were up in a remote area. He took the opportunity and he ran out and he kept on running, and one of the camp guards shot at him. The bullets whizzed past his ear. They didn't hit him, but he did escape. He changed his name, and he changed it to George Forchuk. The very first book that I ever wrote was Silver Threads, as a prayer and a wish for what I wished my grandfather had had. They'd get up early in the morning, before it was even light. They would assemble in the main area of the camp, and they'd be counted to see whether anyone had been missing over the night. And then they might have a little bit of something to eat, which they prepared themselves, marched out under armed guard. Where they were marched out to, there'd be hardly room to step. There were so many trees. And then they would end up just staying in that place, cutting trees by hand with axes. And we know that they stuffed their boots with newspaper because they were not insulated. And even in the barracks, wind would just blow through the cracks. Takes you back 100 years ago. It's already freezing cold. And to think of these men here, dressed poorly, without enough food to eat, and being forced to do slave labor. One thing that my grandfather said that he learned how to do was to carry a log on his shoulder and run. It had ended up completely ruining his back. And so by the time he was 60, he was pretty much not able to do very much. He couldn't even farm anymore. He came here and he risked everything and he lost everything so that his granddaughter and the rest of his descendants could have a good life in Canada. And so he sacrificed his life so that his family could have a good life. So all I can say is, Guido, thank you. Thank you for everything that you gave me.